We see service providers of all different sizes, whether they're starting out in a new data center and just need a couple of switches, or scaling up to hundreds or even thousands of devices, looking to build a high-speed, multi-tenanted, scalable IP-based fabric network. One of the challenges that they look to overcome is the manual configuration within the network, and obviously that can lead to mistakes or inconsistencies as they deploy technologies across the data center. What we find with service providers is generally they build a small network initially and then need to grow that by adding a number of switches in the future. Without something like Extreme Fabric Automation to manage the configuration consistently across the network and ensure the network scales in an even way. An example of one of our customers is they would have multiple operations teams, potentially in different countries, that could need to provision new customers or services onto the network, and they'd find they have inconsistencies in the way services were delivered. Our solution to that problem was EFA provided a single platform to deliver services through in a consistent manner throughout the network. So whether that was a new tenant, new application or service within the network, they would always know that that service would be provisioned in a consistent manner. With Extreme Fabric Automation, it allows service providers to build a network from day zero, whether that's a couple of switches or hundreds of switches, to deploy configuration in a single, consistent manner across the whole network. This then provides a platform for the service provider to deploy new tenants or services. The main operational benefit that many service providers see is it removes the manual configuration or changes on the network, so it cuts out human error or mistakes or inconsistencies in the way that configuration is applied within the network. For example, with Extreme Fabric Automation and the integration we have with something like VMware vCenter, it means actually your system admins that might make changes within the virtualization estate, such as a vMotion from one side of the data center to another, the network configuration will automatically follow that virtual machine to obviously cut down the boundaries between your systems admins and network team. It means you have a network that's more responsive to the changes within the whole ecosystem within the data center. What you end up with is a network that becomes aware of its surroundings. So integrations with virtual machines means your operational teams and your systems admins can push changes out through something like VMware vCenter, and the network will adapt and deploy configurations to provision customers or move customers. Modern day network in the data center is typically supporting a number of different technologies, services and applications throughout the data center. With EFA, we have a number of integrations with things like VMware, Nutanix and Microsoft to integrate the network into the hypervisor or server technologies that they might be using. One of the key things we see from service providers as well is they like our DevOps approach to how we've applied and built Extreme Fabric Automation. So it's a very consistent programming language with other tools that they're already building or have integrated within their systems. It also means when you're deploying new customers or tenants within a shared network, it ensures the security and logical separation of customers' traffic. So with Extreme Fabric Automation, service providers can deploy 2 switches in a single rack or hundreds of switches over hundreds of racks within the same data center with no additional overhead.